Yeah, hello everyone, Irvin Reacts here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be reacting to another salmonella video called Fidel Castro's Daily Adventures. I don't really know much about the guy other than the fact that he's a main factor in the Cuban Missile Crisis and that he's been the dictator of Cuba for quite a long time actually, until the late 2000s. So yeah, that's all I know about the guy. So yeah, let's get to it, shall we? Like.
Hey kids, let's talk about Fidel Castro. We're all familiar with Castro, right? Dictator of Cuba for the whole second half of the 20th century, main antagonist of the Cuban Missile Crisis, you know. Anyway, this man loves three things. He loves Cuba, he loves communism, and good God, does the man love dairy. Yep, you heard me right. The all-powerful dictator of communist Cuba is obsessed with anything related to milk and its derivatives. I drew up a little chart here, right? I called...
Okay, so let's see where I fall into. Probably milk great, because I don't really like drinking milk on its own. For me, most brands of milk doesn't taste that good, so I have to force myself to drink it. But I do like eating yogurt, milkshakes, milk tea, ice cream. I mean, who doesn't love ice cream? And cheese. My favorite cheese is probably like smoked cheese or parmesan. My favorite ice cream flavor is pistachio. So tell me, what's your favorite dairy product, and what flavor of that dairy product is your favorite? Okay, and down in the comments below. Okay, so let's continue.
The Leche Lovin' Ladder. At the bottom you got dairy farmers, then you got Ross O'Donovan, then Mr. Bones, then starving babies, and then all the way up at the top here, you got Fidel Castro. Today, I'm gonna share a few true stories that illustrate his preoccupation. Okay, the first one isn't really a story so much as a fact, but according to several sources, Castro was known to be able to eat 18 scoops of ice cream after a meal. That's more than...
You gotta be frickin' kidding me. There's no way, that has to be fake news. Not to mention, on top of a meal, when I could finish like probably five scoops of ice creams if my stomach's empty, but if I'm like after a meal, depending on the size of the meal, I could probably eat only like 2 or 3 scoops. So yeah.
2 pints. If that doesn't impress you, then go try it for yourself. Me, I can barely manage a pint and a half on an empty stomach, and Castro's doing it on top of a full meal. But it gets better. Being such an ice cream connoisseur, Castro ordered the construction of an ice cream shop. But this isn't your average everyday parlor, not by a long shot. He built a straight up ice cream complex taking up an entire city block. This was a piece of modern architecture too, in total contrast to the surrounding slums, all for the sake of ice cream. The place is called Copelia, and it's still open today.
No way. I gotta check this out. Cool. Hell yeah. Images. No. Wait, how is it spelled? Copelia ice cream. Parlor. Dude, check these out. This is like if Disney changed their franchise from making movies and cartoons to just like ice cream. This is basically ice cream Disneyland turned into ice cream world. Jeez, and all for the sake of ice cream. Okay, let's continue.
Of course, Castro's obsession went beyond just personal pleasure. Dairy was so dear to him that it often found its way into diplomatic interactions. Like,
I mean, if the man's gonna build an entire complex just for ice cream, it's not surprising he'd bring it up in diplomatic talks.
one time, a French diplomat came to visit, so Castro whips out some Cuban cheese. Specifically, though, it was camembert cheese, a variety that France is famous for. French guy was like, hey, not bad, it's almost as good as the French kind. Try it again. I think you'll find it's even better than the French. Alright, I won't say that. I'm sorry, are you disrespecting my cheese? In my house? On my island? No, I mean, it's good. I just said the French kind is better. Maybe if you froggy fucks bathed once in a while, you'd be able to taste the cheese instead of your own B.O. Listen, you've got your cigars, we've got our cheese, live with it.
Yeah, don't challenge the French when it comes to culture. For centuries, they've been the most culturally diverse nation in the world, even today.
Fine. Fuck him, it's good cheese. I'm paraphrasing just a little bit, but that's basically how it went down. So already it's obvious that dairy is of great value to Castro. Most exceptional, however, is how this value reflected in his leadership. Naturally, having an entire nation at his disposal, Castro wanted to bolster the Cuban dairy industry as much as possible. But there was one problem. Cuba initially had two types of cows called La Reinas and Zebus. La Reinas came from the days when Spain ruled Cuba, and Zebus originated from India. Both of these cows are well suited to the Cuban environment, having a very high tolerance for heat.
Oh yeah, environmental features. That's a key factor when it comes to agriculture, especially livestock, not just crops. Not just crops. So yeah, that's gotta affect the Holsteins, which is the classic black and white cow that produces milk.
However, they don't produce much milk, they're mostly just raised for their meat. So Castro decides to import thousands of Holsteins from Canada. Holsteins are the classic black and white cows, and as we all know, you can juice these guys for days. They are utterly superior.
The puns. That was a good pun.
Only problem is, they're used to living in Canada, so when they're plopped down under the scorching Caribbean sun, it's gonna stress them out. They're not gonna be laughing cows by any means.
Yeah, I can feel for those cows. I know how they feel. Here in the Philippines, it's very hot most of the year. Even right now, while I'm recording this video, it's so hot, but I can't turn on my air conditioner or my fan.
So as a result, Castro's imports still didn't put out enough milk to satisfy his desires. At this point, your average run-of-the-mill dairy queen would have given up. But Castro, he's more than that. He's a dairy dictator. So he ordered the construction of a giant air-conditioned complex with the sole purpose of providing a comfortable environment for his Holsteins. And it helped a little bit, but they were still stressed out. They still weren't putting out at their natural levels. And as you can imagine, climate controlling an entire facility is very expensive.
Yeah, most probably. Even back then, that's gotta be hella expensive without modern air conditioners.
So Castro was forced to abandon the project. But like the astronaut he is, Castro held on to his dream of finding the Milky Way. So he got...
Okay, first Utterly, next, what was the second one? Dairy Queen, and now Milky Way. What's next?
Gathered a team of scientists and farmers and ordered them to breed together the Zebus and the Holsteins in order to produce a heat-resistant, lactose-pumping super cow. The breeding efforts were mostly
Okay, in regards to the breeding between a heat-resistant cow and a non-heat-resistant cow, you'd think it'd be stupid. However, if you look at it from a scientific point of view, it's quite creative and innovative and actually makes sense. I mean, even today, there are many scientists who are trying to breed new species of plants and animals. I heard there's even a lab somewhere, like maybe in Iceland, trying to breed plants that taste like meat. I don't know if it's true or not, but if so, that's breeding the Holsteins and the Zebus to make a heat-resistant cow is not all that stupid.
bust, never producing the bovine master race that Castro longed for. However, there was one exception. Under Castro's program, a single individual was born that met his expectations with flying colors. The cow was named Ubre Blanca, Spanish for white udder, and she produced world record-breaking volumes of milk, peaking at 100.
Oh my god, why is this drawing? You know what? I'm not gonna say anything about this drawing. I'd rather not.
110 liters a day. That's more than 29 entire gallons of lactation. Needless to say, Castro was absolutely euphoric at this isolated success of his. To say he went ballistic would be an understatement. He went intercontinentally ballistic. Like,
oh, I see what Sam did there. Yep, Cuban Missile, pun. Get it.
India hasn't got shit on the levels of cow worship that Castro performed. Daily updates were published in the Cuban national newspaper describing Ubre Blanca's health and productivity. And when she died in 1985, Castro commissioned a giant marble statue of the cow in her honor. He also had scientists harvest tissue and egg samples for the sake of preserving her DNA.
Now, in regards to Ubre Blanca, why couldn't they have him or her give birth to more heat-resistant cows? I mean, there is a possibility that during the breeding, it caused some a genetic mutation that didn't allow Ubre Blanca to produce children. But even so, I'll have to search up on whether they did try to make her or him have children.
After Ubre Blanca's death, Castro's plans for the Cuban dairy industry got even more desperate and ridiculous somehow. This is based off of an actual conversation that he had with his team of scientists in 1987. Okay guys, hear me out. What if we make cows that are the size of dogs, so that way they can live in people's apartments with them? Fidel, I don't think that's gonna work. No, it'll work. You just have to grow grass in the apartment too. You can't be serious. Yeah, you just...
Okay, now this is just his ideas of making dog-sized cows is just silly. I could understand the breeding two different types of cows to make a super cow, but this is just ridiculous.
Just gotta put up some fluorescent lights. Bam, little grazing patch for your doggy cow. You are a fucking lunatic. And obviously nothing ever came of that idea, and Cuba's dairy industry is still floundering today, sadly. So yeah, if you haven't gotten the picture by now, the dude likes milk. Imagine he's at the birth of his grandson, right? Ah, what a beautiful baby boy. Fidel, there's something we need to tell you. Your grandson, he's lactose intolerant. Prepare the firing squad. Anyway, there's plenty of other...
I don't know whether this makes me respect Fidel Castro or, think of him as a lunatic. Because I do love my dairy products. Not milk alone, but I do like ice cream, but I don't know, I have mixed feelings about the guy.
Miscellaneous stories surrounding his little preoccupation, like the time the CIA tried to poison his milkshake, so I just decided to highlight a few big ones. Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm Sam Manella, and thank you for watching.
Okay, regarding the CIA and the CIA thing, it's not really surprising. The US has been known trying to assassinate people who don't have the same political system as them. So yeah, it's not surprising that the CIA tried to poison Fidel's milkshake. But anyway, yeah, this video was very surprising to me. I learned a lot about the guy. I might actually learn more about the guy while I'm not, recording this video. And yeah. I don't really have anything else to say, really. If you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe, like I did with this video. Check out Sam's channel, he deserves a lot, because he deserves it. It's really been a while since he uploaded his I think his last video is already over a few months old now. Hopefully he comes back. But anyway, yeah, link to my Facebook page in the description below, and yada yada yada. And I'll see you guys next time, because it's so hot today. Bye!